Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to episode 216 of Standing Out, a podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. I'm Trey Griggs, founder and CEO of Beta Consulting Group, and we are excited that you are with us today. Happy Thursday, happy afternoon. Hopefully the freight is flowing, the cigars might be smoking, and you are doing great. Listen, we appreciate you watching the show today. It's going to be an awesome show, but we've had great shows all week. We've got some other good ones coming up. So make sure you join us every Tuesday and Thursday for these episodes. We had Dustin Hot Tub Blevins on recently. That was on Tuesday. Last week, Brian Smith, Lucas Shore, and several more episodes coming up next week. Also, it's Thursday, which means that it's almost Friday. And you guys know tomorrow is Finish Strong Friday, which means that we're going to have another great episode of The Word on the Street. So you might as well join us at noon Central with the Street Crew. We got Pam Simon on the show tomorrow. She's with Connective. You may not know that name, but I bet you know the name Manifest the Future of Logistics, the conference that happened back in late January, early February with over 3,100 attendees. Absolutely killed it. She's going to be on this show tomorrow. We're going to be talking about what they're looking forward to in 2024 and much else to discuss along with that show and with the Street Crew. So make sure you join us at noon Central tomorrow for Word on the Street. Okay, listen, I'm super excited about this show because not only is one of my favorite companies in logistics here today to talk about their marketing strategy, but we have a special edition of Farby Friday coming up. It's going to be Farby Thursday today, but coming up at the end of the show. So I'm super excited about that today. So please welcome to the show from Edge Logistics, Pam Nebiu and Molly Sanders. What's up, ladies?
Hi.
How are you doing?
Great.
What a great walk-up song. I love it. What a great song. That's one of my favorites right there. That's the Rascal Flatts edition. That's well done. Well done. Nice job. All right, so how are you guys doing? You come to us from Chicago. You got the background there. How's everything going for you guys?
Going great. Good. It's almost Friday, but it's been a pretty busy week here at Edge, and we're really psyched to be on the show. We've been waiting for this all week.
I know, me too. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be a lot of fun. Before we get into anything real quick, tell everybody a little bit about each of you and how you got to Edge Logistics.
Sure. I'll kick it off. So I've been with Edge now for about 2 years. I come from a hospitality background, which is very different from this industry. But I fell in love with it, and I'm looking to grow here. And I'm the senior marketing manager here at Edge. And Molly joined the team about less than a year ago as a social media coordinator. And it's just been between us and our CMO, Maria, growing this team and just coming up with great things.
So real quick, before Molly starts, what were you doing in hospitality?
Same thing, marketing, but it was very different. B2C, obviously, so a whole different perspective. But I think that's what's pretty unique is bringing that sort of perspective into a new industry and growing with it and bringing those ideas. It's been quite a show, quite a ride.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute because I think that actually answers one of my questions that I have for you later. But before we do that, Molly, talk a little about yourself and how you got to Edge.
Yeah, so I actually graduated from the University of Dayton in 2021, degree in marketing. So absolutely go Flyers. Right. But I've always kind of had that creative idea mindset. Kind of really started to jump right in and learn everything I have from marketing from my first job. And then when I wanted to, that was in Ohio actually, but then when I decided to start the new chapter of my life in Chicago, I was really excited to get the opportunity to work with Edge just for all the growth reasons. The company culture is fantastic. So it was just something like social media coordinator's dream here. So
yeah, no, it's great. It's a great story to hear. And my good friend and the CEO, Will Kerr over at Edge, such a great guy. Do you guys get to see him much? Does he roll around the office too much? Let's
yeah,
that's awesome. I love that guy, and you have to make sure you tell him hi for me. All right, let's talk a little bit about what you guys are doing at Edge, because there's a few companies in logistics that I feel are really knocking out of the park, especially when it comes to their marketing strategy and what they're doing. I put Freightvana in that category. I think Rocket Shipping is doing some really cool stuff, and you guys are right up there. I look at what you do on social media. I look at what you're doing around the swag that you guys have, the trucks that you send out, and some of the other things that you're doing. Talk for a little bit about your marketing strategy. What are you guys trying to accomplish, and how are you going about doing that, and where did that come from?
Yeah, so I guess I'll kick it off. So obviously, what we're trying to promote at Edge is the culture first. That's a big part of our strategy, but not only that, we have incredible tech. I'm sure you guys If you haven't heard of our Capacity app.
Very tech forward, yes.
So we're always promoting our tech as well as obviously our services, but also I mentioned tech obviously, but our offices as well. So I mean, we've got an incredible office here in Chicago, which is where we're headquartered, but we also just opened a new office in Phoenix, Arizona. We've got one in Detroit and also in Columbia, which I'm sure you guys have heard about that. But essentially what we're trying to do is we put together a strategy behind each thing. So obviously when it comes to culture, social media is a really big thing for us. And that's why you see all these great things like Barbie Friday and other things that you'll see today. But also our tech is really important. So we capture that in different ways, not just through social, but through email marketing, obviously SEO as well. And we just really work together as a team to make sure that we're utilizing all the things that we have, like our blog, where we educate our audience. We have a newsletter that we send out. So we're always trying to think of creative ways and more ways for us to capture this audience in several outlets that we offer. So.
Yeah, and along those lines, I want to talk about your B2C experience because the social media aspect of it, bringing in TikTok, I think you guys are on Instagram as well and some other platforms. How did that B2C experience really shape your philosophy around how to make an impact and how to get the Edge brand out there, especially from a culture perspective?
Yeah, so I mean, B2C is extremely in your face. And I think that's where I kind of come from, is that if we're doing something great here, which we are, obviously, we have these incredible awards like Inc. 5000 that we just made it on, ISO. We need our audience to know that. And I think that's where that B2C experience comes from. It's really marketing these incredible things that we're doing and utilizing that way of thinking into a B2B as well. Because a lot of the things that we're doing now, for example, like social media, are just such a giant push in our industry. And we see that even when we're going to conferences and running into people, it's a great way for us to put a face to who we are. And that's where I think a big part of B2C that I've learned in my experience so far, we're trying to do here at Edge too. It's, marketing in general, you have to hit it from all angles. So
I mean, social media is a big push, but man, it seems like not a lot of companies do it well. Not a lot of companies are consistent with it or creative with it. When I think about social media, I think about the three things that people probably want most as human beings, and that's to be entertained, to be educated, and be inspired. And if you can hit those from a social media perspective, I think you're doing a great job. Molly, I want to go to you for a second. You're kind of new to Edge. What have been kind of the big eye openers for you in this position? You've had a little bit of work experience, but now you're here. Like, what makes the difference with Edge? Like, what's really stood out to you?
So it's just something that I even try to focus on with all of our social media is just the company culture. So like Pam said, when we go to conferences, things like that, we want people to know the face behind the brand. We want people just to connect with us, even just by like seeing us frequently on social. That just helps make that connection. And we have a lot of talented people here. We have like brilliant minds. And I really just try to focus on that and just show people, that like we're different than everybody else. We are family-run business, like we are just tight-knit and just kind of showing everyone that we're special.
Yeah, we're definitely and we want to show that, bring that, let people know that what we're doing here at Edge, because it is, like you said, it's very different from a lot of other companies. If you follow our social, which I hope everyone today does, you'll notice that everything that we do is up there. You'll know exactly what we're up to. And we want our audience to know that from a culture perspective, but also from a consumer perspective and career perspective. And, we have found that sometimes it's a bit tough for carriers, for example, for us to find carriers. Because I think a lot of the time carriers use their own platforms, their own identity, and they're not really using the company's identity. So we always try to find ways to capture them, whether it's through social, email marketing, or even going to these conferences and engaging with them. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it sounds like there's a level of freedom as well to try some new things. How has that helped you guys really spur the creativity and the imagination? I mean, is that true? Is it a pretty free culture to try some new stuff and see what happens?
Yes, I actually heard Will say today, we can do anything, And
that sounds like Will.
And that's what I think the success at Edge has been, is that, there's a lot of trust here. And as Molly mentioned, we have a very unique and talented people that come from all different backgrounds and bring a very fresh new perspective. And I think that's what really makes Edge, is the culture here, as well as the expertise that we have behind all the reps. So yeah, I mean, exactly. It's a very free-spirited company. We always want to think of new initiatives and be on top of every trend that there is, and just stand out, because it's competitive. We want to get up there.
It's the name of the show. We got to stand out. That's right. No pun intended, or pun very much intended. How has your social media, engagement and your philosophy around that, how has that impacted your recruiting as a company?
So that actually has gone insanely well for us. So just the same thing as like the goal of social too, just getting our name out there, getting recognition. That helps tremendously with recruiting and stuff like that too, just because we want to show our company culture again, but just that like they won't just be another employee here. They will be part of the family. They will be, we want to show all of their talents. We want to show how great they are as well. So just kind of showing that culture just helps. Even people at career fairs have come up to recognize us, stuff like that. So it's always great things.
Yeah, we actually just wrapped up spring fair career season, and we had a lot of students come up to us and recognize our brand. And, we are a newer company, and we've been attending the career fairs probably religiously now for about 2 years. And for us to stand out in front of larger companies that exist out there, I think we're doing something right. So we're just going to keep doing that.
It's so powerful. And I just think companies don't understand the value of that. It's like, well, why would we spend time on TikTok, or why would we create content on Instagram? Well, again, you're building a brand that's becoming known and trusted. It's almost like that celebrity status. They feel like they know you and trust you, even though they've never met you before. And what brand doesn't want that? And you guys have definitely accomplished that with what you're doing. I give you many kudos and props to what you guys have done. So that's absolutely awesome. All right. I have to ask another question in regards to, this is really big for me, is I really believe sales and marketing is one department that should be working together. How do you guys work with your sales team and with the whole company in general? Because I know you do a lot with the operations as well. How do you guys all work together to help each other out?
Yeah, of course. It's a very collective, thing that we put together. So we work very closely with our sales team. Everything that they do, we help out with. Whether it's a part of the RFP process or new developments when it comes to tech and getting that out there. We do a lot of demo days in-house to be able to showcase what we're up to and anything that's kind of that we're working on. But also when it comes to our branding in general, if we're going and doing outreach out there, it's really important that our sales team is set up. So having the right collateral and knowing the language, knowing how to speak, all those things are part of something that we all work on together. And we have a very open relationship. So if there's ever anything that they need from us, obviously we're there for them, but it's very essential. I always think of sales and marketing as one. But I think the edge here is that it's not just sales and marketing. We work together with operations. We work together directly with our carrier sales team, with our recruiting team, with our HR team. Like it's all one big happy family.
Well, here's the cold hard truth. Everyone in your organization is a part of the sales and marketing team in one way or another. I mean, they're all a part of building the brand and driving revenue, whether that's answering a phone call from a carrier, from a customer, or tracking a load, all those kind of things. It all matters, and it all goes to building the brand. So I love the fact that you said that, because I remember I've been in sales for a long time in the industry, and many times we never even knew the marketing people. And it's like, where do you get your content from? But the people who are on the phones all day talking to prospects, like what causes a yes? What causes a no? Why do people say no? All those things are really valuable when you're creating marketing collateral, marketing content. I would have loved to have had videos that were like designed to answer the objections that I was hearing over and over again, but a marketing team doesn't know that unless they ask. So I love that philosophy, and I love where you guys go with that. So kudos to you again on that, which is awesome. And great skyline. I love that picture in the background. That is solid. That's a great picture of Chicago.
We actually designed these ourselves. So, we worked with our designing team, and we have these decals all over the office, actually, in all
That's
offices.
Awesome.
really cool way to kind of show the brand and show where we're at. We're in Chicago, so.
I mean, it almost matches the standing out set we have here. I mean, the color scheme is just to die for. It's awesome. It's almost like we planned it.
We're definitely.
All right, we got to pause for a minute because we always like to have a little bit of fun on the show. So every show we honor the national day, whatever it is. So we had President's Day a little while ago. We've got Easter coming up and some other things like that. But do you ladies know what today's national day is? Sometimes they're weird. Sometimes they're good. Do you guys know?
I know it was International Women's Day yesterday.
That was yesterday. That's right. That's right. Not today, though.
Month. Shout out to all the supply chain ladies.
That's right. Absolutely. Okay, so today's a weird one. It is National Slam the Scam Day. And this sounds weird, but this is basically saying no to scammers who try to get your information. You know, all the things that happen with that. So it is National hashtag Slam the Scam Day. So, you know, out there, just be careful. Don't click on emails and don't answer phone calls that you don't recognize unless you're looking for a date or something. I don't know. Don't do that. So Slam the Scam Day, everybody. It's the National Day. That's a weird one. So I don't know who's coming up with these. I really don't. But that's kind of a weird one. I think yesterday's was way better. International Women's Day. We should have just celebrated that, even though it's a day late. So, but that's not too bad. Okay. The other thing we like to do is sometimes we like to play games. And we have a new game that we're going to play. It is called This or That.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
Okay, now here's how this game works. Fun little graphic there. We're going to give you two options. It's a 50-50 option. You just have to tell us which one that you would pick. All right. You don't have to give an explanation. You don't have to justify it or anything. We just want to know what you would pick. So the first one is vacation or staycation.
Vacation.
I'd go vacation too.
Yeah, so you guys aren't old enough. When you get older, staycation is where it's at. You don't have to work and you get your own bed. Staycation can be nice when you're a little older, but I'm with you. Vacation is definitely fun too, especially at your age. Okay, next one. The early bird gets the worm or night owl?
I think we're both night owls.
I think that's just a creative way.
Yeah. You get more creative when the lights go down. Exactly. You start thinking about stuff. I'm the same way. I'd rather sleep until 8 and like be up to like 12 or 1, being creative, writing stuff down. So I'm with you on that. Okay. Number 3, cats or dogs?
Ooh,
That's tough.
We definitely, I think we have different views here. I'm dogs.
I have a cat, so I feel like I'm a cat.
Cats are easier. Dogs are more fun.
That's true.
That's, kind of the way it works. Cats could care less if you're even there. I mean, they don't even care, maybe rub up against you occasionally.
So that was nice.
Do you have a cuddle cat? Do you have a cuddle cat that comes right next to you?
I do, yeah.
No. Okay, well then you get a little bit of the best of both worlds there. My wife doesn't really like animals at all, but she loves when the dog curls up. Okay, next one. I'm going fun. Chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream?
I'm vanilla.
Vanilla.
Really?
Vanilla.
There's nothing in it. Like regular vanilla, French vanilla, vanilla bean, like just vanilla.
It's classic.
I'm not a chocolate person, which is really
Not
strange.
either.
Yeah.
Well, life will be better for you if you're not a chocolate person. Let me tell you. You get older, the chocolate just sticks. It's no fun. So I'm a big chocolate person. So chocolate ice cream for me. That's for sure. Okay, last one is deep dish pizza or thin crust pizza.
I like thin crust. I gotta say.
I feel like, I'm in Chicago. A deep dish.
Chicago. Yeah. I mean, listen, if I had to pick one, I'd pick deep dish. But since I'm older, I got to go thin crust because it's better for my waistline. So there you go. That is This or That. Thanks for playing. Hope you enjoyed that. Just something a little fun we like to do on the show. Okay. Now we've come to the part of the show that I'm super excited about. So for those of you who may not be aware, and if you're not aware, you definitely need to follow. By the way, your handles are usually @_logistics. Is that correct?
For the most part, I believe so.
Yeah. All right, cool. So everybody go out and find Edge Logistics and follow them on TikTok and Instagram. And if you do follow them on TikTok, you might know about a little something they call Farby Fridays, which I didn't really understand that for a while, but I kept watching them. But there's actually somebody named Farby that we have to talk about. So I think it's time. This guy's backstage. He's getting himself ready to go, getting pumped up. We got his song playing, everything like that. Everybody give it up. From Edge Logistics, the one and only, the inventor of Farby Fridays, David Farby. The man, the myth, the legend, right here on Standing Out. David Farby, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Trey? Thank you so much for having me. And ladies, you killed it. Glad to be repping Edge and talking about Farby Friday, showing you what it's all about. Let's make it hot.
Well, I mentioned earlier that I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity because I saw you on TikTok. I see what you do on there, and we're going to talk about exactly what that is. But now to have you on the show, I'm incredibly honored. So thanks for taking the time today to do that and to do a special edition of Farby Friday. So before we do that, though, I want you guys to talk a little about how did this come to be? How did you figure out that there was this guy in your office who had this kind of unique and rather odd skill, let's just call it what it is, of being able to pick a celebrity or somebody that somebody had in their mind from a number of, just talk about this, please.
Yeah, I guess I could say a little bit about this, but when my first day here, as I do, I'm trying to promote our company culture, and I just meet David, and he just goes, "Hey, I want to play this game that I like to play, just with the ice." And I was like, "I would love to." We go through it. I picked a game that I thought was pretty obscure, and he got it off the bat, and I was like, "You know what? How do you feel in front of a camera? I think we should make Barbie Friday." And you love the idea, and you've just been doing it ever since.
Okay, so David, this is something that you've been doing for a while. Then this kind of sounds like your party game that you play at an event. Is kind of what it sounds like. How did this come about? Where did you realize that there's rules to this thing? Like how did you create this thing?
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things. I'll be honest with you, Trey. And we talked about it. I went to Syracuse for college. So way back at Cuse, when I was a little less long in the tooth, I used to, play this game because I realized I had this sort of inexplicable talent, if you will, that I knew people's birth years who were famous, who had a Wikipedia page. And so when I realized that, I was like, God, I got to sort of monetize this or somehow maximize it, capitalize it. And so I would use it with my buddies, and like we'd go up to, gals we were thinking we're cute at the bar, and they said, "Hey, Barbie, why don't you go try that game? And then if we stump them, they'll buy us drinks." So I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty popular amongst my friends because they got put a few bits of booze on me. So no, it worked out well. But in terms of just knowing birth years and then having fun with it in college, and then I don't know, it's just always been something that's fun, kind of breaks the ice when you're talking to anybody. And then Edge, same kind of thing. When I was meeting people, I showed them, and Molly and Pam and the whole team was smart enough to kind of make this a show that the whole world can consume. So I'm honored and I'm happy to do it.
Well, I love that story, and I was just going to ask: have you ever gotten a job, or have you ever gotten into like a concert or a game, or have you ever picked up a girl using this? And clearly, you found ways to utilize this. Is what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, if I'm at a wedding and it's just it's look, how many times you can say, "Oh, so where are you guys from?" "Oh, you oh nice. I or geez, how about this Wade?" Right? I mean, it's just something a little easier that's like not as generic, and it's fun. Like people then will get so excited and be like, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity," like you said, Trey. But
there you go, that's right.
Not one. Maybe if this gets big enough, maybe I'll be having to pick myself for the game. But no, it's just icebreaker, a good way to have dialogue, and people just find it fun, most importantly. So
yeah, it's definitely a fun way to stand out, and it got my attention, and so that's what it's all about. And it's been fun to follow along. Every Friday I go on there and I see, okay, who is it this week? What's going on? So you got to keep them going. Maybe there's a sponsorship deal in the future, an NIL deal coming your way. Who knows? Maybe somebody wants to sponsor those episodes. So who knows? We'll see how it goes. All right, so here's what we have. We have an envelope with a name inside of it. I wrote a name on the paper in here. You haven't seen it. I haven't shared it with you. I want to make sure everybody knows that. The rules of the game are this. You get 13 yes or no questions. Has to be somebody born in the 20th century who has a Wikipedia page who hopefully you have heard about, you know about.
Exactly,
And that's where we're at. Okay, so I'm going to be the judge on this one. I've got my character's Wikipedia page up, and I'm going to answer as many questions as possible. So we'll start the count. Those people watching can start the count, and we'll see if you can get it in 13 questions. Go ahead.
All right, let's get it started. Was this person born between 1940 and 1969?
No.
All right, were they born after that time period?
No.
Were they born in the 30s?
Yes.
All right, 30 to 35?
Yes.
Even number year?
Yes.
Sounds good. 32?
No.
All right, so 34?
No.
All right, so we went with 30, obviously. I don't have to ask you that because I know there's no other options. Is it a male?
Yes.
So, yeah, we're in a good spot, hopefully, right? Are they an actor?
Yes.
All right, let's go. And I mean, are they American?
Yes.
Solid. Do they have a famous line from a movie that is something like this? Do you feel lucky, punk? Do you?
No.
Oh man, I thought I had it, but we're obviously not going Clint. We're gonna go. Okay, so 30 actor, American. Okay, cool. I've asked what 11? Is that right?
You're at 11. Yeah, so I got 10 plus 1. That's
not
right.
A problem. Not a problem. It can't be Sean Connery because he is not American. He's another person born in 30. So just going through a couple other people. Oh, first of all, I'm a moron because I didn't even ask this. Or did I? Are they male? We already established that? I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was one of your questions. Yep.
I'm tripping. My apologies. Alrighty. Are they white?
Yes.
Cool. And an actor born in 30, white, and not Clint Eastwood, not Sean Connery. And are they most known for movies then?
Yes.
All right. Well, just give me a second. I am thinking. Definitely just letting it marinate in the old noggin here. So apologies for the brief hold. Just give me a moment.
Maybe we should play some music while you're doing this.
Yeah, right. 30 an actor. 1930 is the year. All right, come on. Just be able to guess this. I am thinking. All right. Okay, it's not. Okay, it can't be the gentleman who played Tom in Godfather because he was born in 31. Wait. Okay, so. All right, so we're just going through different guys. All right, going through movies in my head. I do apologize. Okay, so in 76 we had Chinatown. 75, no, so 73. Okay, come on, David. Born in 30. Okay. And he's an actor. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just sorry again. Just going through this here. I'm just thinking different movies that I've seen that are big. And this guy. Okay. Born in 30. All right. Robert Duvall is who I meant earlier in terms of 31. I know it's not him. Come on, David. Let's get this. So. I'm sorry for the time here. Let me just do, it's just got to pop into the noggin. So, man, you thought of a good one, no doubt about it. But you do think I've heard of them, so I have nothing to really complain about. And they're white. All right, just do it. 30. William Shatner was born in 31. It can't be. Okay. Goodness gracious. Hey, can you just do me a favor, man? Can you just give me the year of their most famous movie and when it came out, and then I think I'll be able to get it. Just the year that movie came out.
The most famous movie. Ooh, that's a tough question. Okay, I'm gonna say the most famous one. See, now you're putting me on the spot.
I apologize. What you would say they're most well known for the year that one came out, and then
gosh. Okay. Well, okay. I'm gonna give you 2 years. I apologize. Give you 2 years.
No worries.
All right.
No worries.
So 1992.
92
or 1995.
Okay.
But there were a lot in between. There were a lot.
Yeah. 95, you had Braveheart win it. Mel Gibson was born in 56. It wouldn't be him, and nothing like that. 92. You had obviously Mrs. Doubtfire was 93 in terms of just another movie. 92, there was School Ties. That was a good movie. Biggest movie. Okay. 95 and 92. God, I'm so embarrassed. I really thought I would have this, man.
Listen, I'm already impressed by what you've already said.
No worries.
All the knowledge you've already shared, I'm impressed with.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think I'm okay. 92 or 95. Those were the big ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Usual Suspects came out in 95. Was there anyone that was born in that year? Maybe Kevin Pog? No, none of those guys are too young. No, but it wasn't. My God, dude, I'm such a moron right now. Can I just have the first letter of the first name and I'll get out of your hair? I'm sorry.
It's G.
It's Gene Hackman. I'm an idiot. I apologize. Gene Hackman. I'm really sorry. But I did sort of get it. I'm sorry, Matt. Good one. Hoosiers. That's his most famous movie.
So Hoosiers was one of his most famous movies, but I wasn't sure if I should put that year because I was a basketball player. So I thought, he was in Get Shorty. He was in Crimson Tide.
Oh, that was the 92.
He was in The Quick and the Dead. No, 92 was Unforgiven. And what's funny about it is that he was connected with Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven. Yeah. And I believe he was connected with Sean Connery in no, he wasn't. Not in Crimson Tide. But anyways, so
hopefully I'm not unforgiven for asking that additional thing. But I understand. Gene Hackman for me, Get Shorty's a great movie, but it's Hoosiers all day. No worries.
So if I had said 86, you would have been like money.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
No, I mean Gene Hackman's a great one. And well done. Maybe we can call it a draw. All right.
That was incredibly impressive. Listen, just the fact that you knew so many other things outside of that while you're processing it and what was going through your brain. We'll say this. I'm gonna claim a victory lap on this one, but I want you to come back and do it again. That's what we're gonna do. We have to do round 2 and give you another shot.
Yeah, right? I want the rematch. Bring it. No doubt.
Well, that was awesome. I appreciate you doing that. I mean, this has just been a lot of fun and just like seeing you actions, seeing it work. And the fact that I know nobody knew what I wrote down except me, which was pretty awesome. So, David, that's incredible. Thanks for being willing to throw yourself in the ring and give it a shot today. That was a blast. And ladies, thank you so much for being on the show. Our 30 minutes are up, but it's been a blast. Hope you guys have had a good time on the show with us as well. And we'll see you back on here. We'll have to get you back on here pretty soon.
And he is not a half man. All
right. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys real soon. And everybody out there, thank you so much for watching today. We appreciate you checking out what we have going on. Make sure you come back later next week for another episode of Standing Out. We'll see you guys soon.